I'm Venessa Giunta. I am an author and an editor and an all-around like to talk about things person and a little awkward sometimes. One of my favorite things to do is talk to authors, right? I love talking to authors about their process, their writing, their careers, their marketing, all those things. And I really love just sitting down and just talking about stuff. I mean, communication is my love language. So that's really what I had in mind. I really wanted a situation where I could just have a conversation with somebody. So, and a conversation and a cocktail is really all about us hanging out and drinking together and talking about the stuff. Hey everybody, welcome. Look who's here. It took us 2 weeks, but we finally made it.
Oh, so, I know, right? Neither one of us is completely sick at the moment.
Yes. So so for those who don't know, we were supposed to actually do this 2 Mondays ago, but I came home from Dragon Con with COVID, so that didn't work out. And then we were going to do it last week, but then Sherry got
bronchitis from the babies.
Yes. Okay, so first, what are you drinking? I'm going to make you show what you're drinking.
Oh.
Yes. It looks awesome, right?
Fun.
It's like
Beetlejuice, right?
Beetlejuice
Fanta, yeah. It's haunted apple.
That sounds good, actually.
It is pretty good. Not with a cough drop, but
Oh, yeah. See, you should be an old lady like me and have Werther's.
You're right.
So I am usually I'm drinking alcohol, but again, because I am recovering from COVID, I thought it would be better just to stick to my cinnamon tea. But I did go, it's cinnamon rooibos tea, but I did go a little fancy and I used some ginger honey, which gives it a little kick. So
I like that.
Yeah, right? All right, y'all. So I am here with Sherrilyn Kenyon, New York Times bestseller, and one of our guests of honor at Multiverse. So this is one of the things that we do for Multiverse is I invite the guests of honor to come be on this show so we can spotlight you and highlight you and love on you and all the things. So huzzah and welcome.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
Yes. Kathleen says I forgot the whiskey. It helps a lot. I don't like whiskey. I am a rum girl. But yes. And Kathleen says Dragon Con appears to have been virus central. Absolutely. I know so many people this year who came home with it.
Right, but I did not. So that's
but not Sherry.
No, I was fine. The babies got me.
Yes.
Factories.
Yes. I was so annoyed because this was the first time I had COVID. I'd never had COVID before. Yeah.
Wow.
So, and I know that the reason I got it, my mom went into the hospital the last day of Dragon Con.
Oof.
And so I was up, I only got 3 hours sleep that Monday night and 5 hours sleep Tuesday. And by Wednesday night, I popped positive. So,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Pepsi, but Heather has Beetlejuice Fanta in the fridge. You should break it out and drink it in solidarity. I mean, do what you want. I'm not your mom.
But don't drink it with a cough drop because it really is not good.
Yeah. That doesn't sound
I'm regretting that decision.
Damn you, past Sherrilyn. All right. So I'm going to hit you with what I ask all of my guests. And I would love for you to share your writing origin story with us, your radioactive spider bite that brought you into writing.
You have been on enough panels with me at Dragon Con to know.
I know all this shit. Not everybody knows it.
You don't ask me about publishing and pregnancy because I will scare you off of both. I came out of the womb wanting to be a writer. I know the story. When I was 5 years old, I went crawling. Well, not crawling. I was walking, but crawling into the bathroom. My mother was putting on her makeup. And I'm like, Mom, when I grow up, I'm going to be a New York Times bestselling author. And I will never forget my mother standing there at the mirror going.
She was probably like, I have the weirdest toddler ever.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, right. Like she didn't know that already. And So yeah, she's like, "Do you even know what that means?" Like, no, but it's not all the books you read, so it has to be pretty good, right? I want to be a writer, so it makes sense.
See, you're so
And
smart.
I knew I was in trouble. She was pregnant with my brother about the same time, a little later, I guess, or earlier, who knows. And I was giving her this piece of paper, and it had a girl with a knife, and she's, killing vampires and all this crap. My mother's like, "Oh my God, I think this is an omen that I'm going to die in childbirth." I'm like, "I think it's an omen you locked your 2-year-old in the trunk to go see Night of the Living Dead." Yeah, my mother was one of those big horror scream queen people. Like, don't let your kid. People, advice: do not lock your 2-year-old in the trunk of the car to see horror movies.
My mom made me sit. It was her and somebody else. I can't remember who the other person was, but they made me sit and watch the very first Halloween, I think
Oh
it
yeah, yeah,
was. And I was like probably 8 years old,
yeah.
7 years old. So I just blame my mom.
Oh, we're about the same age. When Halloween came out and it was on cable, my brother was 6'4", special service, special. Oh my God, I'm tired. Thank you.
Forces.
I am that tired. Oh my God. Special forces. So, I mean, big guy, arms like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And he comes in there and he's like, Sherry, get up. Middle of the night. I'm like, what? I want to watch a scary movie. I want to watch Halloween. Come with me. What are you going to do? Like, lob me at the monster? Of course, my brother's saying was, I don't have to outrun the serial killer. I just have to outrun you.
Yep, exactly.
I love my family.
Yes, exactly. So, my sister was like that too. My sister's 9 years younger than me.
Right.
And she would we shared a room when I was like 17, 18. We had twin beds.
Oh God.
And
yeah.
she said she wouldn't take the one closest to the door,
right,
because she thought if somebody came in, she could get out the window while they're killing me. So
yeah.
she was like 8 years old.
Oh no, my sister, is what, 14, 15 years older than I am, and we had to share a room. And so I would creep her out. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and just stare at her until she woke up.
My sister one time, so I also have a younger brother who's 2 years younger than my sister. And one time, and she was dead asleep. She sat straight up in bed and she goes, Mark. Like, that's my brother's name. And I'm just like, I look at her, she goes, Mark. And I said, Danielle, Mark's in bed sleeping. She goes, oh, duh. And plump.
So yeah. Oh my God.
That was hilarious.
Yeah,
no. All right. So anyway, sorry.
Okay, I'll go back to topic. So my very first story I wrote was when I was 7 years old. It was about a little girl who killed her brothers and got away with it. So
I feel like that was more fantasy for you.
I think so.
Than,
than
fiction.
Yeah. Sharon's Secret was the name of it. My mother was like, I've raised a serial killer. Oh my God. That was terrified of me. Oh, the best ever though was 3rd grade. So I start bringing home all these demon books. And my mother's like, what is you do? I'm trying to protect myself from the evil that is my family. I need to know how to do a banishing spell. So no, I always wanted to be a writer. I mean, my Brownie manual from kindergarten has, when I grow up, I want to be a writer and a mother. So, which is in that order. And that's the order.
You did
it. Yeah, I know, yes. Right?
Good
so
job.
It's all I ever wanted to be. And I wish it was as easy as it sounds.
I know, right? For real. Yeah. For real. When I was about 13, 12 or 13, I told my mom I wanted to be a writer. And my mom said, that's a really competitive field, which is valid.
Right,
but of course, my tween brain is added to the end of that. So of course you couldn't possibly succeed.
Oh,
right. And so I didn't try to write like professionally in any capacity until I was in my 30s.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Y'all don't be me. Don't be me.
Well, it didn't help me. I was starting in my teens, my tweens. And I still didn't have any real success until I was almost 40. So and I kept going, Essie Hinton did it as a teenager. Why can't I?
Come on.
So, I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to this industry.
That's absolutely true. That is absolutely true. So let's talk a little bit about Multiverse first, and then I want to get into some writerly topics, if that's cool. So you are one of our guests of honor. That's very exciting. I know that you haven't really had a chance to look at your schedule very much yet.
Not yet.
But I do know that you are on a few panels, and I know that you have your spotlight, because all of our guests of honor have spotlights, and that's going to be like an interview thing. We haven't figured out who's going to sit down with you yet. It's not going to be me, because I've already got you right here. I don't need to do it again.
Carol. No, I'm kidding.
It's going to be a surprise. So, oh, look, and we have Jesse. Jesse is one of our. Wow, that's a really good picture of you, Jesse. He's one of the co-chairs.
Oh yeah, hi Jesse.
Yes. So so we're really excited to have you, and I don't know if people know this, but you're like the hometown girl.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're like the hometown girl. So, we get to we are moving to Peachtree City.
Oh my God, when?
Please tell me you're not actually being serious.
No, really. When are you moving?
No, not me personally. Multiverse.
Multiverse.
Sorry. Okay, because I'm like, we talked about this.
Oh, no, okay. No, I thought you were moving.
Okay, yeah. And then I realized that you missed when I said multiverse. Yeah. I said multiverse. So yes. Multiverse is a convention. Yeah, I should probably say that. Thank you, DJ. DJ asked, what is multiversity? It's not multiversity. It's multiverse convention. And you can find it at multiversecon.org, which I'm sure Jesse will pop in that chat as soon as I'm done saying it. It is a science fiction fantasy fandom convention. And we started in 2019, which was a great year to start a convention.
Oh, yeah.
So we have guests of honor, and we have a bunch of writers, artists. It's very creativity focused. And we have a horror track and a sci-fi track and a fantasy track and a writer's track and a gaming room and a play track, which is about games. We also have a create room that is basically a giant craft room. And we'll be having little classes in there. And we have a learn track, which is based on academic presentations, although you don't have to actually have a paper to do it. And it's really nerds being extra nerdy. It's really what that is. So and Sherrilyn is one of our guests of honor, and we're so excited. So aside from proximity, was there anything that kind of went into your decision to accept our invitation?
No, I've been trying to get to Multiverse for the last couple of years, and something kept falling through every time. So yeah, since I found out you guys were there, I'm like, I want to go. So yeah, I get to go. I have to go now. There's no.
You don't have a choice. We're going to make you come now at this point. Yeah, because I remember 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, and we were going through, when we do guest acceptances, we actually do it. It's very democratic. We do it, all of the track directors, we get together and we go through everybody who's applied and everything like that. And so I remember like skimming through it. And back then, I'm currently the programming director, so I'm over all of the programming. But then I was just the right track director. I just did the right track. And I remember looking through, I was like, oh, Sherry applied. I was so excited. So let's see. Yes, Jesse is a guy, Nancy. That Jesse, I mean, I'm sure there are other Jessies who are not guys. But that particular Jesse is a guy. And Kathleen asked if there's any Filk at Multiverse. No, not currently, although we do have Mark Gunn, who comes, which I guess you'd call that Filk. But he is one of our guests almost every year, and he does at least 2 performances usually. So we have that. Carol says, doesn't sound like enough time to experience all of it. That's about right. Yes, we need more cons with Sherrilyn McQueen. Yes, I see your background there, and without getting into like the details, like we said, but like, are you working on making that shift to using McQueen rather than Kenyon?
I wish. The publishers won't let me. So Yeah,
sucks.
I'm kind of stuck with that name that just kind of into
Yeah.
my, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I got worse things in life.
But I do like that background. It's pretty
Thank
freaking
you,
cool.
right?
It is pretty
Right?
freaking cool.
Can you see the
So,
Kenyon that's kind of like marked out?
yes, I love it.
Big
I,
X in it.
I love it.
I have no scars at all. Oh, no. I'm wearing my kids gave me this great shirt. My
Free
happy
since
divorce
2020.
anniversary.
Oh, happy
Yeah.
divorce.
Yeah, happy divorce anniversary. Because
Excellent.
technically we did the MDA on my son's 21st birthday,
Oh,
which was what's today? Which was the 21st, so Saturday, but it became official tomorrow.
oh, well,
So that's actually the anniversary.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
So my
Drake.
kids took me out for dinner and to celebrate, and I'm like, "Oh, he's still around though. I can't get rid of him."
Yeah, but you're getting further and further away, right?
I'm
Further
right. He
and
won't
further
let me
away.
go. Yeah, but whatever.
Okay, so I think there was a question. Let me go back. Okay, so there's a question from the audience. Caro asks, as a writer of so many stories that have so many different experiences, your characters have so many different viewpoints. Do you ever find yourself identifying with any of your characters? And if so, who? That's a good question.
I don't know. I guess there's a little of me in everybody.
I think
It's kind of like
I
that
think
old
that's
Mojo
true.
Nixon song. Yeah. Elvis is everywhere.
Yes, that's about right. That's about right.
Fury is everywhere.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
but yeah, no, one I identify with, not one in particular, I guess.
Mhm. Are there any that you wish you were?
Oh, Simi. Are you kidding? Oh my God, I'm going to pay my bills and I get to hang out with Ash all day. Totally.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Sign my booty up. Oh my God.
So speaking of like so many characters, so many storylines, so you have several series out. So I have a question about how do you have a system on how you keep everything straight? Like how you remember what is in which series and how which characters relate to other characters.
There's a reason I don't know where my keys are on any given day.
So the answer to that is no.
Well, I would be lying if I said I didn't. Once we started doing the Hollywood stuff, I had to begin keeping, because they're like, we can't call you at 4 a.m. You really need to start writing stuff down. I have an old database, which is called Telex from 30 years ago, which I don't advise writers to use because unless you like programming and you have a computer background like I do, why I hate myself. It's just, unless you really like programming, don't do Telex. They have campfire writing is what my son uses. And it is, especially like Carol, who's in here. Carol and I were now working on a series together. So we're doing everything in Campfire so that she can access when I make changes to a character and I can, if she makes changes to something, we can see it in real time. And yeah, Campfire writing is amazing for writers.
Yes.
I do Aeon Timeline, which I've always had because you need a time. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
You've got to keep track of your timeline, especially like Dark Hunter's 300,000 years or some.
That's crazy.
Yeah, right? 300,000 years of history. And as smart as I like to think I am, I am getting older.
Shit leaks out the ears, man. I'm telling you.
Exactly. It's like, when was that? Wait, yeah, you got to have a timeline that you can reference because
one of the things I love about Aeon Timeline is I use Scrivener to write, and you can sync Scrivener to Aeon Timeline, and you can actually sync. You can't sync multiple Scrivener projects to Aeon Timeline at the same time, but you can sync like your current project, whatever you're working on, you can sync it to the timeline so that you also have like all of your narrative scenes in Aeon Timeline as well. It's very
cool.
When I learned that, because I'm stupid and I have this huge multi-series story arc because I'm an idiot and I clearly don't want to work on anything else in my life but those. And so like, I was like, and I'm not the most organized person. I don't know if you can see my office. I'm really not. And so I was like, I have to organize shit from the beginning, because if I don't, I'm going to lose it. Like, there's no way I'm going to keep track of anything. So when I found I could do that with Aeon Timeline, I was like, yes.
Oh my God. See, I didn't know you could do that. Wow. So, I just have multiple monitors. So I've got the timeline on one, I've got my database on the other, and then I'm writing in the middle one.
Yes, I also have multiple monitors, but yeah. But the only issue with Aeon Timeline and Scrivener is you cannot have them open at the same time. You have to have one open or the other open.
No, that would suck.
If they're synced together. If they're not synced together, obviously you can do that. So we also have a few other questions. Let's go to the one from DJ, because I was going to ask that. So so I'm gonna set the stage here. So at DragonCon, we have one of the panels that Sherry was on was our New York Times bestseller, which is in one of the big ballrooms that seats like 400 people or 500 people or whatever. And Nancy, I don't even remember what the question was, but Sherry let slip that she's working on a book with Carol Shaughnessy, but she said she didn't want to talk about what it was. And then she mentioned Carol's name, and I literally burst out laughing. The only person in the entire ballroom. And Nancy was like, somebody knows Carol. And it's true. I do know Carol, and I know what Carol writes. So, please share with us what book you're like. What are you working on with Carol?
Yeah, it's still a secret project. It's really different. Nobody has done anything like this. So it's one of those like jumbled up things that we decided to do. And that's why we're not telling a whole lot about it yet. But yeah, it's going to be fun. It's very different. Yeah.
How is it different? It's different from what you've written in the past?
Well, no. I mean, it's a concept no one's come up with.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, nobody has done this yet. So we're like, that's why because if you find something that's not been,
Carol's totally calling you out. Carol is totally calling you out.
Oh yeah, no, and she's right. I admit that. I totally said I would.
I know.
Oh my God.
So what can you share what kind of a genre it is?
Urban fantasy. There we go. I can give you that. Urban fantasy. But it's something I swore I would never write. I'm like, and it has been done to death. I mean, that's the other thing too. Everybody has jumped on but we had a unique twisting on it.
That's always the key, right?
Yeah. Like with Dark Hunter, instead of having eternal vampires, they live 27 years. It's that kind of, no one's done this. Oh my God, we found it. So yeah.
Yes. And Carol says with an adult rating. Which is kind of where I was. See, Carol knew where I was pushing.
Oh yeah,
she knew exactly where I was pushing.
Yeah, that's why I need Carol, because I can't go. Yeah.
Yes. So you guys just get the little tidbits. You just get the little teasers, huh?
So yeah, we're working on it. So hopefully soon.
Yeah. So are you going to indie publish that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Excellent. That is fabulous. Excellent. Let's see. What was the other thing I wanted to ask you? Oh, okay. So there's a panel at Multiverse that I actually really wanted to put you on for the specific reason that you have such a long career and you're successful. But I was being very gracious because a different director needed you for that time frame. And I was like, fine, take her. So, but that particular panel, you had, when we put out our big programming survey to all the guests, you had expressed interest in it. And that is the panel about imposter syndrome.
Mm.
Now, imposter syndrome is something that newbie writers and writers that are still trying to get into publishing or just starting out or whatever have it all the time, right? Or not every writer, but most writers, I think, have it all the time. And I think a lot of those of us who have not reached the kind of success you have think that people who are at your stage don't ever battle imposter syndrome. So I was wondering if you could speak to that, like, since you did show interest in that in the survey, I was wondering if you could speak to that particular topic.
Oh yeah, no. Well, we know writers who do not suffer from this at any level.
I do know a couple, but I can literally count them on one hand.
No, I can name them on more than one hand.
They're almost all men.
No, they're not. No, they're not. Anyway, but yeah, for me, no. I mean, I feel it with every book. Writing's one of those weird things where no matter how many times you finish a book, you get halfway, about approximately, sometimes a little more than halfway. You're like, I don't know how to do this. What did I do? Oh my God, I suck. I suck so bad.
Nobody's ever going to want to read this.
No. And so I'm calling my friend. I don't know how to finish a book. Would you stop? Breathe. You're okay. People are out there. They will read it. And I'm like, well, what if they don't? What if they? Oh my God. Oh my God. So, and I still get that even for panels and stuff. It's like, I got published so long ago, and I love when they're like, well, how'd you get published? It does not apply.
Right.
I sold my first book in 91, and a lot of things have changed between now and 91. I'm a dinosaur. So how do you submit online? I have no clue. I've never had to do that. So yeah, I used Writers Marketplace.
Yes.
The
big door stopper
that was outdated before it was published.
Yes. Yes. And I couldn't afford it. So I actually had to go to the library.
No, me too. Yeah, no, me too. And photocopy pages going, I need this publisher and that publisher.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
or write it all out.
Yeah,
write it all out in a notebook.
Yeah. So. And call 10 minutes before you send it in going, is your acquiring editor? Thank you. So yeah, no, oh my gosh. Yeah,
and back then, like when I was actually doing stuff like that, I was still a kid, not small child, but I was like a teenager.
Yeah.
And back in those days, a lot of the younger folks may not, they won't understand this at all, but long distance calls cost you money. If you called outside of your area code, that cost you money, and it was usually something like a nickel a minute or something like that.
Quarter a minute, yeah. Well, here in Atlanta, I mean, if you called from South Atlanta to North Atlanta, it could be long Distance.
Yes,
Athens was long distance. Yes, when absolutely. I was in college, one of them's like, "Don't call home, I don't care."
Unless you're dying, unless you're in the hospital.
It's too expensive. Yeah, no, I just don't care. You're grown now. Bye.
Yes.
But,
yes.
Yeah, yes. When I first got married, that was one of the biggest things we fought over was that phone bill, because I was submitting. Well, two things: the cost of submission and the phone bill. Because it's like, oh my God, it's like, I have to call. I have to.
That's right.
I've got to get the latest information. I have to make that phone call once a week to all the publishing. And back then, it was not 4 publishers. It was, I don't know, 40.
It was like, it was, yes. I mean, back before we were going towards, that single company that owns the entire world.
Yeah.
So, yes. Yeah. So, can you talk a little bit about your process, like how you work on, like when you get an idea, what are your ideas usually? Like, I know some people will have an idea for a character or a scene or something like that, and they kind of build out from there. Like, what does your process look like?
A mess. It depends on the book. I mean, I always start with the characters. I can't think of a time. Maybe there is a time I had a plot first, possibly. But I can't remember it. I won't say I didn't, because I'm old and I might have done that one time.
I mean, you've written a lot of things, so.
That's true, yeah. So if I said that, oh no, I can think of a short story where I had the idea before I had the characters, and it was Prince Charming was a serial killer.
That's excellent.
Right? It was my glass slipper short story. That's the only thing I can think of, though, where I had the idea before I had the characters. But yeah, no, gosh, I just start writing. I throw a lot of stuff out. The whole reason I write is to figure out who the people are.
Gotcha.
So
So pantser all the way.
all the way. If I'm up, I'm writing. Even if I'm not at my computer, it's going through my head. So, but I don't have like and I hate to say that. Talk about imposter syndrome. I hate to tell the writers that it's like I don't have a process. I just write.
Okay. I mean, that's a process, right?
Yeah, I
Because
guess
then,
so, yeah.
so then after you finally get that first draft out, like your bigger process, your known process comes after that, right?
Oh yeah, where I edit. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's easy. That I can draft real fast. The editing takes forever.
Oh my God, I'm a professional editor and I love editing other people's shit. I hate revising my own. It's
See, I like
exhausting.
to. Well, yeah,
Oh, I
it
hate
is.
it.
But I like to because that's where the book comes alive, really. Because that
Mhm.
first draft is just get the crap down on the paper. And I'm not calling my work crap. I love my stuff. But it's
No, I
like
know what you mean. I
I
think
look at
everybody
it like
gets it.
sculpting, right? I look at it like sculpting. We have to have clay. And until that draft is
Mhm.
down, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing. So, and I know friends of mine who, well, that's why you need to plot it out. But I've tried to plot a book out and I don't. I'm ODD. I'm oppositional defiant disorder. I don't play.
Don't tell me what to do. You're
Yeah,
not the
no,
boss of me.
even me. You're not the boss of me, Sherry. So yeah, no, it's yeah.
Okay, that's valid. I just, for me, I hate like if I could put out like a perfect first draft, I would be happy because I
Oh,
try
would
to
we all?
well, I actually like as I'm reading the sentence, I'm like, no, 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 I need to say that differently or whatever
Oh
because
yeah,
I really hate going back. I mean,
yeah,
even though I do, obviously I don't like it at all. So,
yeah.
all right, so we've got a few questions. Let us take Angela's. Joe, will you pop Angela's question up on the thing? If you could give newer authors a piece of advice, what would it be? I'm going to amend that because everybody always gives the first piece of advice, which is, finish the book or, get your butt in the chair. Right.
Yeah,
If you,
that's not
Angela,
mine.
I'm going to amend that. What's your second piece of advice?
No, well, see, that would never be my first advice anyway.
Well, but
Get
we
in the
often
chair,
hear
give
the
them a
same things as the
yeah,
first advice, right? So,
right. But no, that's my advice to all writers is don't let anybody tell you how to write your book.
oh, that's
You
a good
know,
one.
this is your book. These are your characters. They picked you. They wanted you to tell their story. You be true to them. And everybody has what works for me doesn't work for other people.
Mhm.
Find your method and stay true to it. And just, I don't care if it, don't let anybody go, it's not marketable. Who cares? Write the book.
Mhm.
And that's, never, ever, ever let anybody dictate your truth. As
I
long as
love
you're
that.
listening to those characters, you're doing what they want you to do, you're not going to go wrong.
Yes. Yes. And that actually ties into a conversation I was having with somebody earlier about sometimes as writers, we get into this mindset where if we're not working on something that we can sell,
Yeah,
it's a waste of time. Like we're wasting our time.
yeah,
And I think that's something that as writers we have to get out. And I know that I sometimes fall into that as well.
yeah.
Is that hey, if I can't sell this when I'm done with it, then I'm wasting my time and I should be working on something else.
No, write fearlessly. I wrote the most, and I guess maybe I'm lucky in my career. I wrote the marketable book. It was the most marketable. It was at the time when all the Regency historicals were
Mhm.
so big back in the 90s, and my critique partners were all New York Times best-selling Regency historical authors. I mean, Kathy Maxwell was the first critique partner I ever had.
Wow.
Yeah, we used to joke before we were published going, one day all the people who won't be in our critique group is sure going to wish they were here, and yeah, they do. Tanya Ann Crosby. I mean, I had tons of those friends, and so I wrote because I couldn't get anywhere with my weird, freaky, paranormal stuff that publishers are like, "What are you writing? Oh my god, nobody wants a vampire novel." So,
Right, because vampire fiction is always dead.
oh yeah, and yeah, exactly, and science fiction. And nobody wanted my science fiction, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to write one of these. And they were, oh my god, I love it, it's so amazing, and they really did. And I handed it off to my agent. My agent's like, oh my god, it's so great, I love this book. I got the worst rejection in my career.
Oh,
And keep in mind,
wow.
at this point, I was a best-selling author. I'd
Wow.
had 6 books out. And I always tell, and I know you've heard me say this on panels before, I always tell writers, if you get a worse rejection, dinner is on me. Because the rejection that came in is no one at this publishing house will ever be interested in developing this author. Do not submit her work to us again.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That person's kicking themselves in the
Oh no,
ass.
they ended up editing me later for
Oh,
another
please
series.
tell me you brought that out. Please
No,
tell me.
no, no,
Oh,
no, no, no. But anyhow, so that was it. When that rejection came in, I said, okay, if I fail in this career, I'm going to fail on my terms. And I have never chased a marketing trend since.
good.
I
That's
write what
awesome.
I want to write, and I hope to God, please, please, readers, I love you. Please, I have legal bills to pay, please. But yeah, no, yeah.
Yes. Wow. Yeah, that's a rough rejection. That is a
Oh
rough
yeah, no.
rejection.
It
Oh my
hurt.
God.
It hurt so bad. That
Oh
book will
yeah.
never see the light of day. Ever.
Wow. Oof.
Yeah.
Oof. I got a review once on my so I write smut under a pen name.
Mhm.
And I was communicating with an author, inviting her to a convention that she wanted to go to or whatever that we wanted her at. And she kind of asked about my stuff. And so, I just told her I just thought we were having a conversation. She said, well,
Right.
I'm going to send that out to my newsletter. And I was like, oh, okay, that's awesome. Thank you so much. And she did. And she had read the book and she liked
Mhm.
it. I got a 2-star review from one of her readers
Oh my God.
because it was written by someone who wasn't her. That was basically what they said. I'm like, all right, I guess I'll take it.
Like,
So people are so weird.
well, you remember Romantic Times, right?
Yeah.
I am the first person to receive a 1-star review in their history. That isn't one of my claims to fame. Yeah, I received the very first 1-star review for a book, by the way, that did go on to be #1 New York Times. I love my fans. So yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. That is
So
awesome. I mean, that's that whole thing. The best revenge is living a good, living your best life, right?
yeah, yeah,
So, all
exactly. Oh my
right. So
God.
I think we have another question from Vicky. Is there any character that you wish you could go back and just change the outcome of their life?
Would we have a plot for a book? I hate that I killed Charisse, but she had to die.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean there are characters that like that where you're like, oh,
it's got to be done, man. But I hate it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yes.
We have no conflict. We must have conflict. That's what I tell my son all the time. Books without conflict. There's what is it? Mark Twain said, "There's no fiction in heaven because there's no conflict in heaven."
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Sadly,
Yes. Well, we have another question. I really like this question from Corey. How do you get the character voices you used to hear to start speaking to you again? I miss them so much and would welcome their wisdom in my life again.
oh, that one's hard. There's twice in my life where my character was talking to me when my brother was killed and the divorce, and I'm only just now beginning to get them back, and they're still not like they were. It be kind to your muse. Give yourself time to heal whatever's blocking you, especially if it's something tragic. Like with my brother, it just took time. When I lost him, my belief system and everything was changed. I mean, my brother was my best friend. He was the only dad I'd
Mm.
ever known. And I had to wait until the grief was not so debilitating, but it was over 3 years before I felt like just even getting up again. So, and then with the divorce, I had to wait for, you know, everything. I was being hauled into court every 7
Yeah.
to 10 days.
So much
So,
emotional trauma in that.
yeah, and you can't, I mean, when you're fighting for your life and fighting for the characters, and that's some of the problem that I'm still having is because I was being threatened. First, they were going to put me in jail and make me write for free. And I wish I were kidding about that. I was being threatened all the time. The Department of Justice threatened me over a book I wrote.
Wow.
Yeah, and when you're being hit with that kind of, and why can't you just write a book? Oh my, I will never forget the evil troll who was, we're there in the courtroom and I got to do this in the book. She's stroking it like an evil Bond villain.
Like she's like Gollum.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, here we go. Oh, actually, here's the actual book. So here we go. She's doing this. And, so she's sitting there stroking the book going, like, you wrote this. And it's like, lady, look, the level of evil you people stoop to is incomprehensible to me. I'm just documenting your bad acts. Mm-hmm. There's a big difference between doing something creatively and just writing down, say that again. My best friend from birth is going to regret knowing me. Could you keep the threats coming? So, I mean, it's easy to write a book that's just a documentary of everything they've said and did. But yeah, no, I mean, how do you get those characters? Yeah.
I mean, and that's hard. So like being kind to your muse, being gentle with yourself.
Write a little bit. Yeah.
Write a little bit. That's what I was going to ask. Are there things you can actually actively do? Because I'm currently in this boat, like my house has been demolished twice in the last 4 years by trees, and I've had deaths in the families and illness in the family, cancer and all this stuff.
Oh God, that's hard.
So like my writing, like I actually was talking to David Coe at DragonCon at the Fantasy Gather, and I was telling him, I don't know if I know how to write anymore.
And that is the fear. No, you're right. That you do, because when the dust had settled, and it still hasn't settled. I mean, he's still coming after me. So, but it's not as bad, being out of
it's not as immediate.
Yeah. So, but that where do you go? And so what I was doing was I was like, okay, if I can do a page a week, if I can do 10 words or a sentence today. And it was weird. I remember calling Carol up going, oh my God, you're not going to believe I had a 20-page day. It just, but it's taken me years. And I mean, sadly, that's why, everybody was, why are the books so short? Because I really could not do a full novel for a long time. It's only this past year that I'm actually able to get full novels out again. Yeah. And, Sherry Jacobs, who's been my best friend since we were bambinas. Anyway, Sherry said, I love all your books, but she's like, I can tell a difference.
Yeah.
I mean, it does. When you can really commune with those characters, so just hang in there, do what you got to do, take care of you. And I think they'll come back. But I mean, especially cancer. That's, I did that with both my parents. It is hard to write in that.
Yeah, my mom was diagnosed in June, but they caught it super, super early. So we did like 2 weeks of radiation. We actually went today and to do the PET scan to see if it took care of it, fingers crossed, y'all. Yes, fingers crossed.
Yeah, I remember when my mother was diagnosed. My mom was quite special. And you know how the doctor is when they come in, it's bad because they have that look and they're so somber. And my mother looked at him and said, really? Like, I got time for this shit.
I'm not gonna lie. My mom has a very similar outlook in that, but I actually knew before we actually had the appointment, because now, at least in our hospital system, as soon as the doctors get the results, they show up in your account. So, and I mean, I'm not a medical professional, but I can read.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if she read it or not, but I gave her kind of a heads up. We might not be getting great news, kind of thing. But but she did. She's very annoyed that she has little tattoo dots on her now. So, we could do a little connect the dots. It'd be cute. Yeah. So DJ had a question they actually asked earlier too, but we missed it. So are there any plans for any more Nick books?
Oh yeah. Simi comes out in November. Well, we had 2 out this year so far. Savage came out in June, which is Zev's origin story. Last Christmas and Sabotage came out. Well, Last Christmas came out, was it February? February, I think. And then Sabotage was out at Christmas. And then we got Simi in this coming November, end of November. And then the final one will be February or March of next year.
Oh, nice. So that's
yeah,
like a pretty quick publishing schedule. That's actually
yeah.
Excellent. But you do have a new book coming out when?
Well, midnight. You
Yes.
can download it at midnight as an ebook.
Look how pretty that is. That's
It is
the real.
pretty.
Wait. Hang on. Let's do the graphic because Joe did a cool. Look at
Oh,
that.
yeah, there you go.
It's so pretty.
There you go. I like that.
Yes. And then Sherry, you can also show us the fancy. Look at that. Look how cool that is.
Wait. Oh, here we go. Oh, it's so cool.
It's so
cool.
pretty. It is so pretty. I
love
love it.
The little edges. It's so
yes. And
my baby,
we should have a link. We should have a link down in the show notes. I think Joe said he was going to put it in there, so you can go and if you pre-order, you'll get it at midnight. So
yep. I love Vicky unicorns. Yes,
yes, unicorns.
And we don't. I'm kind of. We ordered it. You know, the copies for our store for a while, but they still haven't come in. So we keep UPS every day. Are they here yet? Are they? I'm like, the one autograph to get them out. It's like, come on. Like, no, we got people waiting.
Yes. So Kimberly has a nice little, Kimberly Shaw has a nice little comment. If you can grab that, Joe. My husband doesn't care about reading or books, but loves when I read him your books. That is so sweet.
Thank you. Oh, give him a hug for me.
Yes.
I try hard. And one of the luck, I swear.
Look, I can't wait for my autograph book. You got people just ready. They are just like chomping at the bit, man. So if you're coming to Multiverse in October, Sherry will be part of our book launch fair that we have. And this is a cool little thing we started a couple of years ago where anybody who has a new book out in like September, October, they get to get a table at the book launch fair. And it's set up like a Scholastic book fair where you have like little swag and stuff. You know, you remember when you were a kid and you went through there and you could buy the stupid little erasers and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So we have all that. And then we have several, I think there's 5 or 6 this year who are going to be in that room all together.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, so that'll be fun. So definitely y'all want to come out to Multiverse because honestly at Dragon Con, you get to see Sherry and you can maybe, you know, talk to her a little bit, but Multiverse is way smaller. So, you know, you'll have many more opportunities to come and hang out. And maybe we can get Sherry to hang out with us at BarCon. So, even though it's when the writers hang out in the bar.
Oh,
I mean, it's called BarCon everywhere. So, yes.
Oh, okay. Really? Because I have never heard BarCon.
You've never heard BarCon?
I've never heard it referred to as that.
Oh, no. Yeah. I think it's like kind of us on the internet have started calling it that. And also we can blame Jim Nettles and Gail Z. Martin because they do continual. And then they also have a BarCon like once a month where everybody gets on Zoom or whatever.
Oh,
and so, yeah. And let me tell you, the bar at the hotel is real nice. Real nice. And we're going to have our own Multiverse drinks.
Ooh.
And we're even going to have a mocktail. So there'll be a non-alcoholic one that is.
Yeah, that's the one here at the Hilton, right?
Yep, the Hilton.
Oh, yeah.
Convention Center.
It's a good hotel. I like that.
Yes.
Very pretty.
It is lovely. And,
I used to at walking distance.
Oh, but now you have to drive. Darn it. But one of the things that we do at Multiverse, there are a couple really cool things about Multiverse. We have a con suite, you know, like most cons do, but we actually serve real meals at con suite. And they're very ethnically diverse. Like last year, my favorite meal that we had was a lunch and it was Native American food. Oh my God. It was so good. Yeah. Multiverse is at the Hilton, the Peachtree City Hilton Hotel and Convention Center in Peachtree City. If you go to multiversecon.org, right there, look, there it is. There you go. I forgot I put it in my thing. If you go there, it will have all the information. So Peachtree City is about an hour south of Atlanta, about a half an hour south of the Atlanta airport.
No, we're 20 minutes. We're 15 to 20 minutes from the airport.
Yes. So, well, okay. Okay, I
You
usually
know
come
I
back
know
to
this.
85. Yeah, I know you know that. So, okay,
Unless
that's
you
even
drive
better.
the way Sherry Jacobs drives, which is up through Riverdale. No, she won't drive on the interstate. So she drives all the way from Peachtree City through Fayetteville and then up through Riverdale and over. I'm like, why? Why do you hate me? Why do you hate me? So yeah, anytime I have to have her pick me up or take, she's like, you know, I'm going to go my way. Like,
Oh,
no, no.
this is cool. I didn't know that, Joe. This year, our kitchen witch, who is Amy Anderchak, who runs the Con Suite, our kitchen witch is telling narrative stories based on books from the
Ooh.
guests with this year's menu. So the
very
menu is
cool.
going to be based on some of the guests' books. I didn't know that. That's so cool.
That will be fun.
I know, it's awesome. So yeah, so much fun.
I love Kathleen. Kathleen's like, depends on who drives. My sister is 15 minutes. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, probably me. Oh, see, Laura,
Yeah.
you're just 10 hours away, 10, 12 hours away. Come on over. Come on over. We still got rooms.
That's right. It'll be fun.
Oh, excuse me. Damn COVID cough.
I know, right? Well,
All
I'm
right.
over here with my pile of cough drops.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
there we go.
And I have my tears of my readers. They're very sparkly and bright.
I know, right? I love the thing. We picked it up
like
at Author Con in Williamsburg years ago.
Your readers are glowy. Your reader tears are glowy.
I know, right? Well, and I also have, of course, this.
Yes. I love it. I love it. I also wanted to talk a little bit about, and people, I mean, probably your hardcore fans know this, but other people watching may not know, but you've done manga and graphic novels and comics.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about how you got into that?
Well, when I went to college, I actually went for sequential art. So I wanted to be an illustrator for comic books, and they wouldn't take me. I tried. I highly, applied or submitted my work everywhere. Marvel, DC, Boom, Studio, Dark Horse, you name it. They wouldn't take me. So that was always my dream, was to have my own comic book. And I was very fortunate. I met a couple artists who were looking to do adaptations. Oh my God. Of books.
Words are hard.
Comics. And, I'm like, okay, let's do this. And they did both the manga. Glass House Studios is the one that did the manga and the comic books. So they did, the Dabble Brothers did the comics first, and then they were bought out by Marvel. But yeah.
That is so cool. So funny, similar story. You know Bobby Nash? Have you met Bobby Nash?
I know that name.
Yeah, he writes kind of pulp noir adventure. He always has a ton of books. Big guy, super sweet. He's awesome. He was actually my very first guest on this show. But he also wanted to draw for comics, but he said he wasn't good enough they wouldn't hire him. So one of the things he does is when people buy stuff from him directly and he's sending out packages, he draws something on the outside of their package.
Oh, that's amazing.
So that they have, I know, isn't that cute?
Oh,
yes, and now we're talking about beignets. I'm not really sure how we got there, but the pastries from Café Du Monde in New Orleans. Yes.
We have, and hey, if you come to Multiverse, they have Brews and Beignets, which is like across the street. Yeah, they got a good restaurant just opened not that long ago here.
We went somewhere, we were there, Jesse, Allison, and I, the two co-chairs, and I were down there to get some measurements in some rooms and stuff. And we went to a place, I can't remember the name of it. I'm awful. It's like, it was like a seafood place or something, but it was really nice. It was in like a strip mall, but like you walked inside.
Bubba Shrimp? Bubba Gump?
No, it wasn't Bubba Gump, but it was something seafood like that in the title. I can't remember what it was.
Live music? Was it by Fresh Market?
I don't know where Fresh Market is, so I don't know. But it wasn't like a strip mall kind of thing. But like you walked in, it was like fancy restaurant, like white tablecloths.
Yacht Club. No. It could still be. It could the shrimp, whatever it's called.
It's something. I think it's shrimp something, but it's not.
Yeah, that's it. It's not Beta. It's delicious. They have
oh my God, it
amazing
was so good.
salads. No, wait. It has the one kind of alcoholic beverage I will drink.
What's
Carol,
that?
what is it called? Carol knows. I need Carol.
Okay, Carol, what
Carol,
kind of
pop it up.
alcohol?
What is that thing that I drink? The one and only thing I drink. And it's so good. It's like a chocolate shake.
Oh, is it like a, oh, well, I don't know. It's alcohol. Is it like a drunk drunk milkshake?
Yeah, kind of, but it's like Don something or another. A good friend of mine, she loves that restaurant, and she was having no, not Brandy Alexander. She was having a particularly heinous day, and we were there celebrating. I'm like, I don't drink. And she's like, you will drink this. Oh, see, I can't remember the name. It's like Don. I want to say Don Quixote, but Don Julio. There you go. She did remember. That's it. It's the
good job, Carol.
Oh my God. That was amazing. Okay, sorry.
No, that's great. That's great. We have there's a place here called Bad Daddy's Burgers.
Oh.
And they have drunken milkshakes. So
there
you can get
go.
like the drunken Elvis. So it's like peanut butter, banana, and walnut, I think.
Oh my God.
You can get like cookies and cream, and they'll put different alcohols in it. Oh my God, it's so good. It's so good. So yes, creamy and boozy and cold with a chocolate swirl.
There you go.
That sounds good. I feel like we need to do that maybe Thursday night or something. Just all go down there.
I'm there. I will golf cart us over because it's an easy golf cart ride from the Hilton.
Excellent. Yes. How many seats do you have in your golf cart?
6.
Oh, perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. I love it. So there's a question from Krista Rogers. It says, where did you get the design double bow and arrow?
Oh, that was a class project. I did that in college because I'm a Sagittarius.
Oh, that's so cool.
I really did major in art. I swear, people.
I believe you. And I have such respect for people who can draw, because I can literally draw a bunny rabbit and some hills. And it's not even a whole bunny rabbit, just the bunny rabbit's face. And it's a cartoony bunny rabbit with a little floppy ear and crossed eyes. That's really all I can draw. Amazing. And one eyeball. I can do one eye. I can't do 2 eyes. I can do 2 eyes, but it looks very Picasso-ish.
Right. I can't do face. I tried. I can't do hands or faces.
Yes. Neither can AI. So
that's true. Yeah, I feel better. There it is. Georgia Shrimp Company. That's it.
The Georgia Shrimp Company. That's exactly what it was. It was so good.
It's next to the Fresh Market and next to Aveda.
Okay.
They're very cool.
Oh, Krista has that tattoo of that on her ankle.
Krista,
that was awesome. I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're getting to the top of the hour, which means we're almost done. I know it's very sad, but you can come on anytime you want. You just let me. Let me know, and you come on in.
When we're not sick.
Right. Let's see if we can coordinate that. See if we can coordinate that. So you're going to be at Multiverse with us on October 18th through the 20th, one of our wonderful guests of honor. I do want to mention in 2 weeks, October 14th, I think, whatever that Monday is, we'll be having another one of our guests of honor, Lauren Brown, who is this incredible artist. She's also done our badges and stuff. Her art is on the badge. Oh, I'm so excited. So so y'all come tune in then. Sherry, anything you want to leave, like any ways to buy your stuff? We got links down there. So, what? Leave us with some parting words, my friend.
Okay, well, SherrilynKenyon.com or my Facebook, which is my Sherrilyn, Facebook.com, my Sherrilyn. Parting words. Thank you guys. I love y'all. Remember, shape-shifting unicorns.
Yes.
Shape-shifting unicorns.
Ooh, there it is. There it is. That is such an amazing cover too. Ooh, that's gorgeous.
Thank you. I'm not responsible for that one, but still. To all y'all, thank y'all for those who are my readers. God bless you. Thank you very, very much. And hopefully next year is going to be even bigger. I'm hoping to have at least 4 books out, maybe 6. I'm hoping for 6.
That is awesome.
Not counting what I'm doing with Carol.
So your mojo is definitely coming back, is what you said.
Oh no, we're doing NaNoWriMo. NaNoWriMo.
Yes.
And my friend
Yes.
Tanya does this wonderful little contest. I'm like, I'm gonna win this year. Because she started it after I got my, when I lost my mojo, but now it's back. It's like, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. I'm coming.
We have
So,
one
yeah.
quick question from
sure.
Connie. Are the Simi hardback books available for pre-order on your website yet?
Oh, that Sherry has been out sick. Once she comes back in, they will be up. She has not put them up yet, and I'm not going because she's
got COVID, y'all.
Yeah, yeah. Please don't bring that to us. My bronchitis was bad enough. So yeah, once she's feeling better, which she said today when I talked to her that she's doing a lot better. So hopefully we'll have them in this week. So yeah,
fingers crossed.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's our plan.
Well, Sherry, thank you so much for being with us. Thank you. I loved having this conversation. You are welcome anytime. You just reach out to me. Let me know you want to chat. We will get on here and chat. We'll get on my Twitch and chat. We'll go somewhere and chat. It'll be awesome. So thank you, everybody. Thank you to Joe Compton. And y'all remember, it's always time to go indie now.